do I have something special for you guys. Decided to dig out the old early 1900 uh, PS old. I just wanted to really talk about hunting for a little bit and how things has evolved. A lot of people say, animals evolve and they get smarter and they learn or habits and stuff. Deer, they say, if you shoot at a deer once, it kind of learns, the smells and the signs of people being in there. And, think about duck hunting, how it's evolved from the early 1900s to today, where can you imagine the birds that would have been killed in the early 1900s or the mid 1900s or even in the 70s if they would have had robo ducks and automatic jerk strings and shake weights and flapper ducks and all this stuff we have today, which this year Arkansas, anything mechanical is no good on a WMA. They've outlawed everything, anything that takes a battery. The only thing you can use is a good old duck call and a jerk string. But back in the early 1900s, it's crazy the sound of this call compared to today's duck calls. And I don't know if that's really because you really have to have that to call birds in, or if it's because there's so much pressure, which I know the answer is because of the pressure. I'm sure if I had a private field, even if it wasn't the greatest land ever, the 167 of Rick's, Dunn's, or here locally, Bob Carpenter's land, that's land where you can go there with nothing and just as many guys as you can take, you can kill birds out of that place. The Coca-Cola Club, all this great private land here in Arkansas, but say you hunt public land, does it really take, the sound of a duck call nowadays to kill birds? I would say it don't, but when you have groups set up 50 yards, where you can hear them opening honey bun wrappers, talking about their wives, that's a little closer comfort. So yes, you have to have a loud call that can compete with that, the cut down calls or the super loud timber calls, or that's where all that stuff comes into play. Your robo ducks, your motion to your decoys. Could you call in birds with an early 1900 duck call in today's time? I think you could if you didn't have a lot of pressure around you, because really I don't think birds is involved, but I think it's just the hunting pressure. You need these things, your robo ducks, your motion decoys, your loud duck calls to compete with, Joe in the hoe next to you. I really think you could call in birds with this call, even though I must say this call sounds like crap, like compared to nowadays. But I'm sure back in the early 1900s,
there was millions more ducks.
Yeah, you had a lot more birds back then, and probably less people hunting.
Right.
A lot less people hunting. I'm sure, back then people actually had to work. You didn't get to protest in Charlotte and not go to work. You had a job to do. You had a farm to, work by hand. Times has changed. That has a big to do with it, a part of it. But even with the less birds we have today, I still think you could compete with this duck call, even if you had nobody around you. Because that's what I was talking about, birds evolving. Do you really have to have, does a duck like a sound of a timber boss or echo or a Ritz-and-Tone or a lead or any of these, major duck call companies compared to this old yard sale find we had? But anyway, I just want to show you this. I'm sure a lot of you seen this if y'all are familiar with duck calls. It's got a mouthpiece like a flute. It's a keyhole. It's threaded. So for a lot of you people saying, I don't know if it's true. It's hearsay. Duck hunting is just like a bunch of women. It's so much drama and this and that. There's people that had threaded duck calls way before some of these, Kurt McCullen threaded cut downs. This is early 1900. I mean, this is 1909. 1909 is when this was made. It's got a black, I honestly don't know. That ain't steel. I don't know if it's what that's made out of. It's got a cork that looks like it came out of a wine bottle. I mean, it's got huge holes in that cork. Like I said, it's nothing like the cork that we have today. Super short insert. I mean, you're talking about an inch and a little bit from your cork slot to your into your hole. I mean, it's nothing there. I mean, it's pretty much all tone board. That's all it is. Like I said, it threads together. No lanyard groove. Just $12 at a yard sale. I mean, anyway, I just wanted to give a little demo of this, in case any of y'all ever want to hear what duck calling sounded like in the early 1900s. Pretty crappy, I'm sure, but I'm sure back then they could use a black painted 2-liter Coke bottle, which they probably didn't have 2-liter Coke bottles back then.
A lot of people call it with their hands.
Yeah, they could call it with their hands, That's crap I can't do, but anyways, let's hear this beast. Ready for this? We'll start out with a little feed chatter. Little bouncing hen action. I mean, that's what people hunted with back then. It's crazy to think that this duck call has probably killed thousands, which there was a lot more birds, but thousands of birds. And I really don't know if that sounded good back when it was made.
Well, that's all you had to have.
I mean, it was just the pressure. People, there's so many people that hunt, and it's ridiculous. And it just gets more and more people every year. I don't know. I'm ready for Arkansas to pass something where limit out-of-state people, huh? I mean, I love you out-of-state people, I really do, but man, it's 300 trucks at a boat ramp is crazy. You figure I don't know. What do you figure the most has been at Hurricane? I've seen them parked, Mitchell's Corner packed, and all the way to the old bait shop lined up in their parking lot. I mean, it's 200 trucks probably close, and you figure each truck has 2 or 3 people. I mean, that parking lot holds probably 100 something trucks. Maybe not parking spots, but them things would be parked in the grass, in the campsites, and then every truck guaranteed at least 3 people. What? They can hunt out of state too. I mean, I'm not saying don't come hunt Arkansas. I mean, I've hunted with many out of state people. I mean, a lot of them. I've hunted people out. Just come up here and hunt with us, and you are welcome. Holler at me. It's just gets crowded. It gets crowded anywhere, and I guess that goes back to. I'm sure people in Kansas hate people out of state deer hunting. I mean, because that's what that's known for. I mean, Arkansas is known for duck hunting. I've never seen very many people fly in from out of state to deer hunt here. I mean, they go to Kansas, and it's where the deer are. This is where the ducks are. It's just the way it is, and I enjoy the competition. I mean, I enjoy the boat racing and all the fun stuff that goes with it. Just the evolution of people. I mean, I know that people don't like duck meat. I like it, but I'm sure a lot of people just do it hunt to hunt. But and also, I made this video to show you the double reed purge. You talking about a super, man, this is crazy soft. I know I see a lot of videos on calling ducks, not calling ducks, but call nuts on Facebook, and then some other you know, video call showcase online, and there's people that, you know, get real soft on calls, but I'm telling you, this one right here will compete with all of them. But anyway, I wonder what this would have did back in 1909. Probably scared a lot of birds off because they wouldn't know what the hell was in that duck hole. I don't know how much softer you can get in that. What do you want to hear? But then it'll get loud. This is this call here is really not. It's nowhere near cut down, but it's not. It don't have like a real. It don't have a lot of hold on it. So when you go to your long hell calls or your hell calls, you kind of gotta break them up because it, like I said, don't have a lot of hold, so it's not easy to hold a real smooth note, and it's real raspy. So it's not like a normal call where you can hold a long hell call out and it be real smooth sounding. This is real raspy. Woo, that rolling feet. But anyway, I was bored and just wanted to shoot a little video and show you this prize jewel, the Safe Queen. I don't know what it's worth. I think somebody offered Grandma like $300 for it, but right after she bought it for 12 bucks. They're probably pretty common. I'm sure as many oat made, but it's got a perfect mallard call is what it is. The perfect mallard. Perfect mallard, PSO. Perkin, Illinois. Registered trademark number 348205. So, anyways, I hope you enjoyed the oat, and hope you enjoyed the purge. November's coming around the corner. Like I said before, you got calls need tuned, send them in. Prepaid postage here and back, or just put postage like $6.30, I think. So just say $6.50 or $7 in there, and we'll get it back to you. Tune-ups are always free. Reason corks free. We repolish it, get it back to you. P.O. Box 225, Bon Knob, Arkansas 72010. Or call if you're close. Come by. Shops behind the house. We're always here. Somebody's here. But until next time.